in Illyricum, present-day Yugoslavia. Justinian, and future Byzantine emperor, first traveled to Constantinople in 518 to serve in the court of his uncle, the Emperor Justin. A few years later, Justinian met and fell in love with Theodora. At the time, Theodora was earning a living as a spinner in an effort to shed the bad reputation she had acquired while working as a circus performer in her youth. Despite objections from some members of his family, Justinian married Theodora in 523. Following his marriage, Justinian rose through the ranks to co-emperor with his uncle in 527. Within a few months, his uncle died and Justinian emerged without opposition as the new emperor. Justinian proved to be an able administrator. He appointed 2 panels to untangle the confusing law codes. He directed Belisarius, one of his generals, to undertake military campaigns that would extend the boundaries of his empire to Italy in the west and North Africa in the south. And he embarked on a program to enhance Constantinople with magnificent buildings such as Hagia Sophia. Justinian, Theodora, and Belisarius each played a role in the construction of Hagia Sophia. This was the 3rd church of that name to be built on the same site, atop the first hill, which dominated the city. Close by was the Hippodrome, the stadium where chariot races were held. Teams representing different factions in the city regularly raced there. In 532, these factions began a riot in the Hippodrome that soon spread out of control. The rioters set fire that consumed the older church of Hagia Sophia and stormed the royal palace. As the mob approached the royal apartments with the intention of dethroning their emperor, Justinian decided to escape by sea. Theodora stopped him, arguing that it would be nobler to stand fast and challenge the rioters, even if doing so meant death. In the end, Justinian enlisted the aid of Belisarius and his soldiers, who trapped and killed 50,000 rioters in the Hippodrome 5 days later. The riot, referred to as the Nika Revolt, had left almost every building on the first hill in ruin, including Hagia Sophia and the royal palace. Justinian decided to rebuild these structures, entrusting their design and construction to Isidorus of Miletus, and Anthemius of Tralles. They began their work on February 23, 532, just a month after the Nika Revolt had been put down. The church they designed and built was extraordinary. It was the largest church constructed up to that time. Its rectangular floor plan, measuring 229 by 245 feet, was crowned with a dome some 100 feet in diameter, whose center rose almost 180 feet above the floor below. This dome was supported by 4 massive piers, which gave the illusion that it was hanging in the air like an inverted bowl. During construction, these piers began to tilt outward, and Justinian recommended that they be built as rapidly as possible so that the arches connecting them at the top could correct the tilting. The dome had numerous windows, as did many of the original walls, to allow as much sunlight as possible to enter the building. The light made the richly colored marble used as veneer on the walls come alive, so it resembled the multicolored flowers in the fields. As the sun's rays struck the church's mosaics, their golden background sparkled and shone. Hagia Sophia was completed in only 5.5 years, and it was dedicated in late December 537. From the moment of its dedication, the wondrous church fascinated the people of the Byzantine Empire and medieval Europe. The Crusaders attributed all sorts of curative powers to its marble columns, and several cities in Italy erected churches with similar domes. Today, Hagia Sophia serves as a museum. It is the only reminder on the first hill of the lives and times of the Emperor and Empress Justinian, and Theodora and the General Belisarius.